There are new changes coming with the DAT, and in today's video, we'll be going over these changes. I think these changes are really, really important for people who are in the trucking industry. More specifically, these changes will be very, very important for people who are overseas. We had a meeting with DAT last week. Uh, Basically, these are a team of people that work for a DAT, and these changes will actually some of those changes that actually uh, it's some of the changes I don't want, to be honest with you, but that's what it is. And actually there's some pros and cons for this. And if you're an independent freight dispatcher, if you're a carrier, if you are a freight broker, maybe you work overseas, this will affect. And obviously, guys, the way that we do these lives is, you guys asking questions. Obviously, I have something to share with you, and I have something very, very important to share with you. And again, if you have questions related to DAT, related to trucking industry, related to business, please ask. So I'll be displaying your questions like this. But again, Mohammed Babur Muratov says, hi. Please let me know your questions. But let me say this. And again, I'll be taking your questions. Obviously, hello. Can you tell me? No, what is the way to get the email through Safer? Okay, we'll talk about this. These are the great questions. But let's talk about the important changes that happened with the DAT. So the last couple of months, maybe you guys saw DAT posting on social media, Instagram, and then obviously on YouTube. There are a lot of fraud happening with the DAT. There's a data leak. There are a lot of people trying to kind of get access to the DAT, and they're using the DAT in a wrong way, so to speak, right? So this is the main concern for their compliance team. So one of the changes right off the bat, that the 30-day free trial, it's ended. They don't have the 30-day free trial. There's no more 30-day free trial. So I was posting links on the social media, on YouTube specifically. People can join using the link, and then they will mention the people who promoting the DAT, let's say. And then what will happen is that you mention, for example, my name or my company name, and then they will give you 30-day free trial. A lot of people around the world, what happened is, well, not saying that all of the people who really legitimately wanted to access the DAT did that, but some narrow-minded people, you know, they're trying to harm the DAT. So I do see, guys, a lot of questions popping up, coming up. And Regina, that's a great question. I will take that question and we'll take it from. Please save this question for later. I will take this question and then we'll go in details talking about the DAT. What will future will be like with the DAT? How this major changes with DAT will affect a lot of us. If you're a freight broker, you're working overseas, this will affect. If you are a carrier, for example, and you are managing your company overseas, this will affect. And a lot of independent freight dispatchers working around the globe serving their carriers, this will affect. So 30-day free trial is gone. I do have my notes up here, but then replacing right away with the good stuff is that 30-day, it's no more 30 days. But then what will happen is that if you sign up for DAT, then they will give you 10% discount. Not for everybody. So be patient. So I'll go there. 10% is basically, let's say if there's a $200 a subscription, what they will do is a 10% off. That means a $20 off from the monthly payment. So that means for 12 months, then it will change, right? So what was before is a 30-day free trial. So you have, if you let's say this, if you are in the United States, this was the situation. You watch the video, any YouTube creators, any people out there in the internet, on the internet, promoting DAT, saying, hey, use my link and you can join, and here's the free trial, 30-day free trial. So if you do this right now, call the DAT and mention my name. Let's say, hey, Kamal, Kamal, I watched the Kamal's video and there's a link and this is dispatch track, his company name, and then they would have given you a 30-day free trial, but no more. What they will do instead will give you a 10% off of the monthly subscription. But it's not for everybody. This is the second major change. It's kind of halfway through. They're still working on it. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not clear about this. And the person that I'm working with, she's from DAT, and she's actually working with the compliance so she can get me the right answer. So I'm asking a lot of questions. One of the questions that I asked is that, listen, first thing would happen. That's the second thing. The first thing, 30-day free trial, it's gone, meaning no more 30-day. Now they will be giving you the 10% off. The second thing, the people not in the United States, they won't have access to DAT forever. It's gone. So if you're overseas, let's say if you're out of country, any country on the globe, not in the United States, that means international, you don't have access. So if you try to sign up for DAT, what will happen? It's unfortunate, obviously, but what will happen is that DAT will block you, right? So you won't have any access. If you somehow call the DAT and say, hey, listen, I have a business in the United States. I'm managing my company, but I'm managing my company overseas. So I'm in Peru, I'm in Mexico, I'm in Ukraine, I'm in Turkey, I'm in Canada, whatever. I'm in from India and Pakistan, whatever. Well, this is where I'm waiting the response from her. Is I asked a specific question, but when she said that no international people, they won't have access because this compliance team not allowing to do international people access to DAT because of this fraud protection things that are going on with the DAT. And I asked, okay, so if these people like overseas, then, and I have a lot of students that they're overseas and they want to access the DAT, and I said, what will happen to them? What if these people, they have legitimate business legal business in the United States, right? They set up the company properly. They have a business in the United States, but they're managing or operating their business outside the United States, right? So what will happen? What will happen then if that's the case? So she is getting on it. She's working on it. So she's working with the compliance team so she can give me the right response, the right answer so that I can share with you guys. So this is pending, but for now, international people, they can't access, right? That's it, it's gone. Now, and I said, okay, what if I can access, let's say, from other country? And what we'll see, maybe if you can just go there, some of the countries already blocked, right? So it says access denied or restricted. So if you're outside the United States, you can now try, you can go and type www.dat.com. You will see is this, some of you or most of you will see that access denied. So maybe this is permanent, maybe, but this is what's happening right now. International people, I'm sorry, DAT is gone. If you're managing from other countries, so it's still pending, but I'm assuming that what will happen, assuming these like the compliance team will somehow know that you are managing based on the IP address. I think maybe you are using VPN or whatever. They will just chase you down and then they will they block you, and then they will delete the access to the DAT. I know it's frustrating, but sometimes I come with good news and share with you guys. But then this is somehow good news and bad news. But we're still waiting a response from the DAT team, from the compliance team. Is what if people overseas, not in the United States, they have legitimate business, they set up the business the right way, but then operating their business, from their countries. What will happen? So I have a lot of student post-Soviet, countries. I have a lot of students from Uzbekistan, for example. They're like, okay, what will happen now? Like, I have a business there. I've been running this business for about 5 years now, but then, now if the DAT catches me, but everything was fine, now because of some of the people, some of the narrow-minded people, because of that, and this will happen. Well, there's nothing that I can do. This is basically the DAT made this decision, and for me, it's just like sharing with you guys. That's what's happening now. So you ask a lot of questions, and you can go down to the comment section. You can see a lot of people asking right now that they're watching the YouTube video. They want to start their businesses, and what's happening is, well, I can't access. I called the DAT, and this what happened. And there was a self sign up process for the trucker's edge. It's still available for carriers, right? Specifically for carriers, people who have their MC numbers, MC and DOT numbers. So these people can still, this is very important, people in the United States, carriers, new carriers, old carriers, it doesn't matter. If you go there, you can self sign up. If you have an MC number, if you have a DOT number, you can sign up, no problem at all. Trucker's Edge, right? So there's different types of or different levels of subscriptions, but you can access DAT, the basic load board, with without calling anybody. So if you need more powerful tool, right? So kind of you want to upgrade to the next level. So what you need to do, you need to call salespeople. And this is specifically for people in the United States, right? Not outside in the United States. They can sign up, no problem. So if you're outside the United States, self sign up for dispatchers, for carriers, is gone. We cannot do that, right? That's what they said. Like if you're a carrier, you have an MC number, you have DOT number. As I said, it's a proper, it's a legit business, a legal business in the United States, but you're outside the United States. So if you're trying to access from different country from your computer, that's what will happen. Now that's a bad news for you, right? I'm sorry, but I need to tell you this. So then for dispatchers from other country, not in the United States, they cannot access. Access is gone, right? They cannot access DAT. So if you still have access to DAT, but just hanging there, well, people will call you or people just email you and then they block the account. But this is what I understood. This is what I have from the last meeting, the last week meeting. So then people in the United States, specifically freight dispatchers, you cannot sign up for the self sign up process, which is a trucker's edge. If you are, I'm not talking about the carrier now, I'm talking about freight dispatcher, independent freight dispatchers. You cannot sign up using the self sign up system with the trucker's edge. It's gone. I'm sorry. You cannot. Remember, for those people who remember this, who signed up using the Trucker's Edge, the self sign up meaning you're not calling the DAT salespeople, right, or the sales team. You just basically go online, Trucker's Edge, and you can sign up. And there was a drop down menu, and it says, "I'm not a." So there's a carrier's MC number, then a broker, whatever, and then there's like a dispatcher. So dispatcher, they were able to sign up without calling. Now, if you are a dispatcher in the United States, the self sign up process is gone. If you call the DAT, if you say, "Hey, I am a freight dispatcher and I dispatch loads for carriers and I want to access DAT," and this is what will happen. They will say, "We have a new requirement for freight dispatchers." What is it? Now you must have a physical address in the United States. That means you must be in the United States. Second, you must have a company, legit LLC. Remember the new FMCSA rule that we did about like 3-4 months ago, the video? Please watch. So then second is LLC. And third one, I think this is the biggest one for most people, is that you must have at least one carrier to dispatch. So for people outside the United States, it's gone, right? So that means if you have a carrier, don't have a carrier, doesn't matter. If you have a business, that it's still pending, right? So I'll do another live video and we'll go in depth. So I'm still waiting for the compliance team what they will say about if I have a freight dispatching company in the United States. I have a carrier, but I'm operating my business outside. Just take this in parentheses. We're still working on this. So then, freight dispatcher must have a carrier. So, what if that carrier has a load board already? I specifically asked this question. And I said, what if this independent freight dispatcher has a carrier, right? But then carrier has his own subscription. He's using his own subscription. There's a two ways. Now, this carrier can give you access to his DAT. You can access it, no problem. But if the carrier says no, I don't want you to give you my load board access, have your own access, then you can use his MC number and sign up for a DAT. People now watching this and thinking, well, I think there is a way that I could say I have an MC number. I can just pick any FMCSA number, and I called them and I said, hey, I have this carrier and I'm a dispatcher. I want to dispatch and please sign me up. But there is a process when you call, and then basically we'll be auditing and seeing that if you exactly, and you must prove. And it's not easy, guys. It's not easy just to say, hey, this is an MC number. I work, I dispatch. They're not stupid, right? You can take any MC number from FMCSA and say, hey, I have a business in the United States and I have this carrier that I dispatch and I need a subscription. No, there is an audit. There is a process. They will go in details asking questions to see if you really set up with this company. So I do see a lot of questions. Let me take one by one. I think Regina asked a question. I think Regina, this is a great question. How to access DAT now is basically for it's two ways, right? One is if you're outside the United States, if you are in the United States. So if you are in the United States, you cannot sign up as a self sign up, meaning go to Tracker's Edge and then hey, I'm a dispatcher, sign me up. It's a basic load board. That is gone, right? Even if you are in the United States. But now you're required to call DAT, right? You are in the United States. You call DAT, and if you want to mention my name or anybody's name, so you can get the discount, right? The 10% discount off of the load board subscription. So then, second important thing, you must prove that you have a legitimate business, meaning legal business in the United States. That means physical address, your EIN, your LLC, everything set up. And then third one is you have a carrier that you will dispatch. That is for people in the United States. For outside the United States, for internationals, so these people basically no more self-sign up, it's gone, and you cannot access DAT at this time. So it's gone. So if you still do access, you have subscription, just be careful. It might go away, right? So now is compliance team working really, really hard. It's just, I'm not going into details, but that's what they told me, and that's what I'm, sharing with you. So that's the self sign up for international kind of bad, news. But again, there's still opportunity. I'm still waiting to confirm. What if you outside the United States have a business in the United States? If you don't have a business in the United States, it's gone. You cannot access. And if you have a physical address in the United States and you have an LLC and you have a carrier to dispatch, right? And let's wait and see when it's finalized and have the final answer. And then I will do another video, maybe later this week. I'll email today again, just remind them, hey, I'm still waiting the response. And I will gather my notes, and then I will do another live, share the notes with you, what happened with you. So, I mean, with the signing up for the DAT. Great question. Let me take this. Salman Saeed says people outside from US are having a hell of an issue. What is the best way to get it in the right way? Salman, as I said, if you're outside the United States, buddy, it's my friend, it's hard. Now you cannot have access. It's gone, right? So if you try to access load board, no more load boards. It's basically this. What they said is this load board is for the US market, right? And they try to give access to people outside the United States. And what happened, and because of some narrow minded people, let's say some bad people out there, they try to harm DAT. And actually, what DAT does right now with the compliance team is just protecting their business, right? There are a lot of cyber attacks happening. There are a lot of hackers all around the world. It's just basically doing bad stuff to DAT, and the DAT must protect their company, right? I totally understand that, and that's what happened. Okay, so and then they cannot do much when people outside kind of harming, doing bad things to the DAT. They don't have this control. But if the person in the United States, they might somehow identify and do something legally, right? So that's what happened. So let's take this one. Muhammad Babur Muratov says, brother, is a DAT best load board right now? What are the better alternatives? Do you know the good and a free extensions for DAT? For as far as extensions, I don't use any extensions, but I do use companies like calling without dialing the numbers, for example. That's the software I use that. But for the best load that I know, and as you can see, it's a DAT. For me, it's DAT. I use a lot of load boards out there, but the DAT is one of the best. I know when some people had, like, let's say people in international, they had access, they loved DAT, they made a lot of money because of DAT. Now things changed, and we cannot say that, well, DAT is bad, or DAT did this. And no, they're basically protecting their business, and we totally understand this. But to me, answering your question, the DAT is the best load board. Well, I'm not gonna lie, right? So if there's any alternatives out there, but you can search in uh, Google it and see if there is one. So let's see. Let me take this one. What is the best way for the people who wants to do business in the right way? Salman, tell me this. When you say doing the business the right way, what do you exactly mean? Doing the business right way in the United States as a dispatcher, as a carrier? So business is kind of broad, but then if you can give me like more specifics, I can work on that specific, and I can do my best to answer your question. Okay, so let me take this. Shahzad Malik says, as a dispatcher, with how many load are required, or only DAT is enough? DAT is enough for carriers, for brokers, for shippers, for from dispatchers. All combined, DAT is enough. Let's see. Let me take this one. Muhammad Anwar says, DAT is not subscribing to LLCs, working through BPOs in Asia. How to resolve this matter? This is a more specific question. You can email them. You can ask them, but I can take this and ask them. This is more specific, so you can email them to DAT. You can call them, ask this question more specifically, or I can take this and ask this question. But great question, by the way. So let's see. Let me take this. Nida Khan says, how people are sharing the links through session share 30 monthly. I'm not sure about that. So basically what you're saying is that there's some people sharing links for DAT, and it says $30 monthly. I don't I don't know. It seems like scam or something like that. But you can share the link. I can pull in and see what's happening. Let me see. Let me take this. Anthony says, I'm a Costa Rica. DAT is working good. Awesome. So if it's if it's working good for you, then man, more power to you, right? So as long as it's working for you, that's awesome. So let me take this one. Also, TruckStop is working with the VPN. Okay, so VPN is kind of catchy, to be honest with you. So we kind of touched this, and I had a conversation with other people as well. So basically, if you're using the VPN, to catch you is very easy because they see on their system that you're accessing from, let's say, from Costa Rica, and then you're using VPN, like VPN, But if it's working for you, Anthony, man, more power to you. Okay, awesome. Let me take this. It's obviously to have access to Costa Rica, man. It's almost a part of the US. Well, there you go. So let me see. Hey, man, which is better? Is this question for Anthony, or for me? So truck stop or DAT, as I said already, I'm more of a fan. I love DAT. So for me, it's DAT. Okay, let's see. We use the MC of one of my carrier. There you go. Then remember I said that it's still pending, that I ask compliance team specifically for DAT team specifically. I said ask the DAT compliance team and say, okay, what if I'm from outside and I have a carrier to dispatch, I have an MC, what will happen, right? So I have a business, right? I have a business, and what will happen? So it's still pending. So I hope to come with the good news so that people around the world have access to DAT if they have a business, if they have a physical address. And obviously, Anthony, I'm assuming he used registered agent. He uses these company to create a business in the United States, and this is how they get dispatcher carrier agreement with the carrier. So that's the proper way. But if you have some other ways to do it, I don't know about that. So let's do this. Okay. I think there is a conversation going on. And again, guys, if you have questions, please ask. But there are a lot of good questions coming. Let's see. Take this question. If we have a physical address in the US and we have an LLC and a carrier to dispatch as well, even working on the behalf of a carrier. Okay, so is this a statement or the question? If we have a physical address, okay, in the United States, yes, it's possible, and have an LLC, and because of the physical address, you have the LLC, okay, and carrier to dispatch as well, even working on behalf of a carrier. So this is still pending, and I'm assuming you're outside the country, and this is pending. And as I said, I will do a video, and it'll come back with the proper response for this. Let me see, but we use VPN. VPN, guys, to me, like, don't use VPN. If you have VPN and access in the DAT, don't do that. It's just basically call them and let them your situation. They will do their best. But then if they catch you using the VPN, it's gone forever. It's gone forever. I'm telling you. Just like there is a proper way. Guys, it's not we finding the way to access the DAT. It's basically listen to DAT, what they say, and complying, right, with the requirements and all of that, and we're good, right? Don't don't think short term, think like a long term. Okay. I hope that helps. Okay, let's see. Anthony says, I don't have a physical address or EIN. That means you don't have an LLC, right? So, Anthony, I'm just like sharing with everybody. So, if you don't have a physical address, if you don't have an EIN number, basically what will happen is I'm not gonna say, but let me take back and say FMCSA says that you must have an LLC, right? So when you say physical address, it is digital address, whatever, in like what's the setup, I don't know. But the proper setup is physical address, right? You can use your home or office, it doesn't matter. Then you have an LLC, you have your EIN, right? And then you have freight dispatcher, carrier agreement, and this is how you manage the company. So that's the proper way of doing it. So if you don't have the physical address, don't have an EIN, buddy, I'm not gonna say that you're doing the wrong way, but there is just something wrong with the process. Maybe you didn't know, but this is what it is. So it's not the proper way of doing the business outside the US. Don't have a physical address, don't have an EIN. That's the problem. Okay. So let's see. Let me say dispatching. Okay, let's do that. How can I access one with you? Okay, when you say access one, meaning the load board with me, what do you mean? I'm not sure about that. So if you can help me with that, I'll do my best. Okay, so let me take this. Thank you guys. You have great questions. If we have a load board of the driver and physical address, but in the Asia, we use VPN. No, guys, and again, I'm telling you, don't use VPN, right? So that means you're not complying with the DAT. So, right, so what DAT says right now, no access for internationals. You will be found and you will be blocked forever, and then access will be denied, access will be whatever. No access to DAT. Don't do that. Instead, communicate with DAT, explain the situation, what it is, and then let's see how that goes, right? And again, it's still the pending meaning you have a business in the United States, you have a carrier, all the requirements, right? And you are operating your business from Asia. It's still, we're still working on it. But if you're using VPN, it's no, don't use VPN. Okay. Now, let me take this question. Umair Masood says, I have a legit business, LLC, in the United States. Awesome. I live in Asia and handling my dispatching business from here. Awesome. So, is there a way to get DAT subscription using my own debit card or credit card? So, that means if you have a legit business in the United States, and you have an LLC, that means you have a bank account in the United States. It could be whatever the business, the business checking account or personal account, doesn't matter. Can you use your debit card or credit card? Ask this question specifically to them, but you can make a payment. As far as I know, if you have an LLC in the United States and if it's legit, then you have no problem having the bank account. I think so. If there's something wrong, please let me know. Okay, so Yasir Abbasi says, what if I have a load board, if a carrier, load board of a carrier, and I'm outside the US? That's a great question. So if you have a load board, I mean, you have a carrier and carrier has a load board access, let's say DAT, let's say DAT Power, but it's gone. They changed name, DAT1 now, right? So let's say DAT Power. Most people know DAT Power. So let's say I'm a carrier and I have a DAT Power. If I'm willing to give you access to you, can you dispatch overseas? This is the question that I asked. This is the second, important question that I asked. So I'm still waiting on it. Because of the IP address showing that you're outside the US, right? That's the problem. And then if you say I will use VPN, that is a second problem because you don't need to do that. What you're doing is just basically hiding, saying that, hey, like pretend that I'm in the United States, but you're not complying, so to speak, right? So you got the idea. So we'll just wait for this question as soon as I get from the compliance team from DAT, and I'll do another live video. But great question. Okay, let me take this. If we have one duty with MC of my carrier, then it's possible to add a seats and use from outside the US. So, guys, I do see that accessing DAT from outside is a problem. Well, that is a problem right now. That's the problem we are trying to solve. But to me, it seems like 90% outside, outside the United States, people won't have access. That's the reality, guys. Sometimes we need to adjust the business, but then and again, maybe for those of you, and again, remember, this is for DAT. Maybe there are different load boards that letting you to have access, right? I'm not going to name those people here, but those companies. But I'm saying that, listen, this is for DAT, right? And as you can see, a lot of people are using DAT because that's the number one tool people are using, right? So this alternative could be something like you can just check online and see if there is one, right? So let me see. Can I take this? So if we stop using VPN, how can we open? Because they don't provide access and we have a find loads for carriers. See, that's what I'm saying, right? So when you use VPN, what you do, you just basically hiding, saying, I'm outside the US, and DAT, you're not allowing people outside the US. It's basically I'm masking it. I'm just like pretend that I'm in the United States, right? So then your VPN shows that you are in the US. So what compliance team does is just they regularly work on this and then see that you're using VPN. What will happen? They will block you. Like I don't want that thing happen to you, right? So just don't use VPN. And again, that is one way of just hiding yourself that you are not outside the US, right? But then DAT says if you're outside the US, please don't use like our DAT subscriptions. It's just like for US market. What you're doing is just basically kind of illegally trying to access the load board, hiding yourself. But DAT doesn't want that. Like DAT wants transparency. So if you're outside the US, right, but then you have a business in the US and you have carriers, and just wait for the compliance team to get back to me, and then I'll do another video, and then that might be the one alternative, right? So And again, another alternative could be like if the DAT denies access, not allowing you to use their load boards, you have some other free load boards out there on the internet. There are a lot of it, a lot of load boards, paid load boards also there. But just basically, like I'm just delivering the message, guys. Okay, so it's not 100%, meaning it's not 100% complete. But since we're still waiting for the international people have business in the United States and have carriers to dispatch, what will happen for them? So we're just still waiting. Okay. Now, let me take this. What if we use VPS, the virtual machine of the US, not VPN? I don't know. I'm not a technical guy, but you can ask this question to DAT or other people. But again, I saw this question, to be honest with you. I don't have answer, but I said, okay, let me take, and it'll give you my honest feedback. If you're outside the United States right now, like access is just restricted. That's it, right? So if you start using different ways to access it, they will find. And then I'm saying that, hey, guys, there is a chance, right? There is still a chance to access, but let's wait and see what they say, and we'll go from there. But then if you use this VPN stuff, all these things to hide yourself that you're outside the United States, they will catch you. They will. A lot of people that I know, guys, I'm sharing this. Don't share with anybody. I know that a lot of people who are using VPN, they're like going like this out, restricted, gone, blocked, forever. Don't do that. I don't want that happens to you. Just don't do that. So let's see. Let me ask this. I mean, take this. Omar Masood says, my request to the management is please draw any solution for a legit dispatcher outside the US. That's a good one. Okay. We are working hard to earn legit bread. Okay. Whether for family. Well, there you go. Well, instead of saying like the VPNs trying to hide yourself, like, if you're not giving me access, but I can access this way, that way, don't do that. Instead, I think you can, Umair, you can have this in email to DAT, and then I can show this to the compliance team and said, okay, take a look. So these are the people around the world. That's what they're saying. They're legit people. That's what they're doing. And then what's the response, right? Awesome. So, okay. Let me take this one. Okay. Kamal, it's bad news for outsiders. I got it. I know, man. I like, um, I don't know if you're a male or female, but then I'm saying that I feel you. I know. I have a lot of students outside the United States, but I'm working hard to. I'm really, really, guys. Trust me. I'm working hard with them, saying like there should be a way that people access in the DAT, right? So I really, really worked hard with a team member. That she's not working anymore with the DAT, but I really worked hard with the DAT to have this self sign up forum. A lot of people that you saw the self sign up forum, it was because of our company, because we asked, because a lot of people outside said we don't want to just call them, and when we call them, salespeople get confused, whatever, and then we just worked on this self sign up process, and thank DAT listened to us and they created this self sign up forum. But unfortunately, there are a lot of people nowadays with this cyber security thing and fraud, a lot of things going on, guys. I asked this question, but at the same time, when they get back with the legit response or answer, but then I feel them, I said like, listen, there are a lot of people, it's just like using the DAT for a wrong way, let's say that way, right? So it's unfortunate, but let's see. Let me take this. Aaron says, bottom line, no more international independent freight dispatcher, USA only. Too many bad actors. Well, I agree with this, Aaron. I 100% agree. There's too many bad actors out there. But because of these bad actors out there, good people struggle, right? Because of these people, right? So there was opportunity, great opportunity to access DAT, like dispatch overseas, whatever, but now it's gone because of these bad actors. I 100% agree with Aaron, but that's what happened. All of you asking these questions have never worked with the legit American carrier. Well, this is where I don't agree with Aaron. All of you asking these questions is wrong, Aaron. Not, and I don't agree with you. Not all of these people. I know a lot of, like, I have a lot of students overseas that they have legit a lot of carriers. I have a lot of students that they have a lot of carriers dispatching it overseas. So in this line, I don't agree with you. And the people who are watching this and listening this, they might get agree, man. And it's not, no. See, too many bad actors out there. But these bad actors never use legit American carriers. I agree with you. I totally agree with you. But I'm not agree that all of you asking questions, that's wrong. It's not. And you're wrong with this because I have a lot of students overseas and with the carriers. Okay. Let's see. That was a question. Okay. Let me take this. Baby's World. I have a carriers and I did so much effort. If I'm not able to open, so everything will gone. Unfortunately, that's what it is. What can I do? I feel you. I understand. Okay. Let me take this. I'm a male. I started learning from you. I was a zero when I started, but now I'm 100. You are a really good teacher. Well, thank you. Thank you. Love you back. The only thing I would say is that thanks a lot. You are the guy. Well, thank you. That made my day. Thank you so much. Thank you. Uh, let's see. Do you have any other solution, load board, other than DAT? Guys, I still, promote DAT, and I still, guys, I know it's tough. I know it's hard, but I do recommend DAT for people who are able to use DAT, because this is where I saw success in my company. Um, but other than that, there are some other companies out there, but I don't allow to basically share that name because I'm promoting DAT. But there are some other alternatives out there. Maybe you can search online. But uh, Surab, what I can do. That's basically it, man. Let's see. Let me take this. Umair says, "Thank you for your kind answer." Yeah, absolutely. Let's pray for the legit dispatch outside the U.S. Thank you for your words that you bring this into management notice. God bless you. God bless you too. Awesome. I'll work on this and like work closely and see what happens. Let me see. Let me take this. Mohammed says having legit business, LLC, EIN, bank account, physical address in the US, but working through legit POs in Asia with safe AP address. Can you please ask DAT to allow the legit dispatchers like us? Awesome. Mohammed and Umair, please email me these questions. This, might go away when I close the live, but please email me your questions so I can ask. A lot of you watching this, please email me using this email, and then I will take your questions and I ask directly to compliance team. If they allow me to record, I will record and then I will post on YouTube or do YouTube live with them so that you can ask directly to them. I'll work on this, but please email me your questions here. Okay. Okay, let me take this. Kamal, what happened is the people created free trials accounts and started selling in the market in bulk, so that thing damaged the DAT's business. This one of them. That's one of the biggest one. Yes, there are a lot of different ways that they're just got this free trial. Sign up. A lot of people signed up, but this is just fraudulent accounts, let's say, and then they used. Yeah, in a bad way. There are a lot of data leakage, like things like it was really bad, right? So, and this is why people, took this very seriously. Um, and by doing this, think about perspective from a DAT's perspective. They're using a lot of revenue, especially nowadays, right? We're slow, right? People, going out of business, but they're using a lot of subscriptions. But they know this. But at the same time, the security, like, right, the compliance is the number one thing for them. So I totally get it. And let me see. And most of the people who didn't get proper training and started dispatching, this make carriers get angry because they don't understand properly and they don't know how to deal with it. I agree with you. Yes, I agree with you. A lot of people just watching YouTube videos, they will just go and create LLCs and try to access the load, but that's what happened. Now it's everything like taking, places, everything, goes like step by step, like a legit way, or as you said, is a proper way. So we're getting there. Let's see. I think we don't have any questions. And guys, what I will do, and again, as I said, please ask me questions using this email. Whatever the questions you might ask to management, anything, please email me, and I will share your questions with the DAT management and see what happens. Basically, this is what it is. Unfortunately, for international people, it's just this is where like it's ended. It seems like, but again, there is a hope. We're still waiting on it from waiting the response from the compliance team from a DAT. And let's see. This is what I'm hoping to see is you are a freight dispatcher working outside the United States. You have a proper setup LLC here in the United States, and you have a carrier to dispatch. Can you manage your company outside the US? Can you have access to DAT? So that's what I'm working on. And if you have more specific questions, please ask. Other than that,